Well, with that increased threat to Supreme Court justices, we are asking the questions: how safe are our public officials, and what more could be done? With that, I'd like to bring in Chuck Marino, CEO of Sentinel Security Solutions and former DHS advisor. Chuck, thanks for being with us.
Good evening, Nichole.
All right, so we hear these details there in Evan's report. Is this a problem as long as things remain peaceful?
Well, it is, and let me tell you why. In this day and age, protection has evolved. We have to be aware of social media. It is possible that somebody that's being protected by a government agency is at a location like a restaurant, and somebody snaps a picture and tweets it out and says they're here. So protection details are aware of things like that. This is different. This is tied to a lot of the rhetoric we heard after the Roe v. Wade decision from the Supreme Court that we heard from lawmakers, where they were quite vocal and emotional in their rhetoric, and I think irresponsible. So what happens now is you have a group that wants to come out and offer bounties for these locations to be given, and then you're talking about an en masse response. That is a large group of people to a location where law enforcement resources don't come as part of the package. These Supreme Court justices and other government officials don't all have security details the size of the President of the United States. They also don't have the authorities that come with that type of protection, meaning that they can't close down streets outside of restaurants and other public locations. Now, as long as the protests are peaceful, we're fine. The problem with the rhetoric is you never know who is going to interpret the words that are being spoken and what actions they're going to take in response to that. That's the wild card, and that is what threatens protective security the most.
Yeah, certainly. There's always that wild card element. All right. So, Chuck, let's dig into the legalities here. Is there anything illegal about groups doing this, about posting about a public official's whereabouts in order to then organize a protest?
So I'd like to focus first on the federal law regarding the protests outside of the residences of the justices. Yes, there is a law about that. As a matter of fact, it has not been enforced by the Department of Justice. Senator Ted Cruz wrote a letter to the Department of Justice today, to the Attorney General, asking why that law has not been enforced. Supreme Court justices are not supposed to be subject to intimidation, and that's why that law exists related to their residences. Now, as it relates to public places, a bounty offer like this by this group borders on stalking, right? And, disruption of public places, almost a disruption of law and order and peace, if you will. So, there are local laws that can be enforced here. But as I said earlier, there's no federal statute that these protective details are traveling with these smaller details. So they've got to pay attention to the crowd size. And as we saw, sometimes an alternate exit needs to be taken when a large group is out front of a location and could be disruptive if the person attempts to leave that location.
Chuck, talking about those protective details there, we know that justices and their families do now have that access to protection from U.S. Marshals. But is that enough?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a big step, and it took long enough to get there. Remember that the recent bill that was passed gave kind of a formal protection protocol to the justices, their families, their residences. This is all important to make sure that they're free from that intimidation and threat. Right now, it appears that it is enough. But one thing that is constantly going on with these protection details is the reassessment of the threats. And we still continue to see this going up and up. Now, it would help if the Department of Justice would start enforcing the laws that are on the books. And that would start with these protest groups not being right out in front of the justices' homes.
All right, Chuck Marino, we thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.